Hello everybody, Ollamh here, and welcome back to The Lost Cases of Sherlock Holmes. We are 6 cases in. We've found all 6 hats so far. And next up we have The Wayward Will. Byron Tutwell, Esquire, is dead. His last words said that his entire estate will belong to anyone, family or not, clever enough to find his hidden will. What Holmes finds is that Tutwell Manor is crawling with suspects. And where there's a will, there's a way. Man, these puns are just getting tiresome.
Mr. Holmes, my father, Byron Tutwell, Esquire, succumbed to heart failure in his beloved private library at Tutwell Manor. A bibliophile and eccentric, he loved books and word games.
As I recall, his hobby was running the Chesterfield Bookshop in the Marylebone district near Baker Street.
His last act was to hide his will, saying that his entire estate and all his assets will belong to anyone, family or not, clever enough to find the will. He gave no clues. He only joked that where there's a will, there's a way.
And a punster too. Heavens.
Now someone has ransacked the library, and the police cannot find the will.
I wonder, has someone stolen the will to claim it later? Miss Tutwell, if you would show us your father's private library, we shall begin there.
Right. Off to the library. Okay, so we're starting off with the spot the difference stuff. Well, the plant's different. Please excuse the mess. Mrs. Hampton, the housekeeper, has quit unexpectedly. That's slightly suspicious. Oh, there's the cap. All right, that's got the big one done. All right, let's start off without the magnifying glass, because that is just very disconcerting. All right, well, there's something different there. How odd. There's one key with letters engraved on it. Fleece shirt. What on earth could that mean? Select the letters and okay. Okay. So it does. Chesterfield. Aha! Right, what does that mean? Could a man who enjoyed word games be telling us that the key to the mystery lies in his Chesterfield bookshop? Good possibility. Well, the safe is open. That's not normal. Only my father and Jameson, our trusted butler, knew the safe's combination. How much money was stolen? None. My father kept no money in here. Only signed editions from his Chesterfield bookshop. He was especially fond of his old friend Lewis Carroll's work. Right, there's a cap there. There's a hint. So no more caps to be found. All right. There's a bottle or a hand shovel. I recognize that cap and hand shovel as belonging to Mr. Maples, the groundskeeper. Okay. Now maybe we should pick up the magnifying glass and help intensify our search. Yeah. Oh. The window too. Looks like a classic break-in. It looks like it, but that's not necessarily the truth. So somebody got drunk junk up in here. But we need to find one more bottle. They're green bottles. Man, they're just like, yeah, somebody liked their drink here. Gotta give them that. Somebody really liked their drink. So he was a fan of Lewis Carroll's. So we have one more bottle and one more of something and something completely else. Man, I'm just not seeing that other bottle. Ah, dog food. Prince, my father's mastiff, is a voracious eater. There's the other bottle. Okay. Langston's favorite wine. He's my brother, a ne'er-do-well who believes he should be our father's heir by default. Right. I'm sure he's just perfectly innocent.
Miss Tutwell, you shall accompany me and Dr. Watson to the bookshop.
Why do you need me there?
Because, like your brother, you would gain much from finding your father's will, wouldn't you?
Well, this is a pretty nice looking bookshop. So we need a spear, 3 newspapers, a hammer, a bust. Newspaper, bust. 3 eggs, 4 quills, good grief. A tree? Alright, there's the last egg. Why weigh a hard-boiled egg? Holmes, the man was eccentric indeed, to put it gently. Perhaps. Perhaps not. Maybe he was secretly a genius. Ah, that was a clue. Okay. Newspapers? The Wisdom of the Oak, a dreadful novel written by a destitute scribbler, Cyrus Druck. He hoped my father would pay him to have it published. My father refused. Well, if he's as bad as you say, it's not terribly surprising. Okay, a hammer, yes. Spear, good. The spear was a gift from Sir Reginald Graves, a member of my father's antiquarian book society. Okay. So we still need a quill and 2 newspapers. Those newspapers were delivered daily by Tommy, an errand boy employed by my father. Right, so we need 1 more quill. Aha! These appear to be the same quills used to etch out the series of figures here. Perhaps another word game. Look at the letters next to the figures on those book spines. Okay, so yeah. Alright, so leg cocked out at an angle. I'm guessing that one's probably going to be an E-R-E. Now see, that one looks like it's got its hand up. Okay, so legs splayed out. Oh. Yep. After a while, it's like, where there's... Oh, okay, yep. Where there's a will, there's a way. There's that phrase again, Holmes. All right. Got enough information. Let's put it together. So, all right. Caller...
Magnificent!
All right, now, what does everybody have? Potted plant, shovel, safe, spear, bottle, keys, paint. Okay, got it.
Righto.
Boom.
You got it. That's it. Nice work. Perfect. 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 You got it.
The butler did it.
Jameson the butler staged the break-in, hoping to find the will, but he gave himself away by leaving the safe open.
Since Tutwell entrusted only Jameson with its combination and Tutwell is dead, Jameson may as well have left his own signature on the wall. Simplicity itself.
So Jameson found the will.
Not at all. He found the safe filled with old books.
But then where is the will?
Elementary. Remember, where there's a will, there's a way. Miss Tutwell, Dr. Watson, let us return to the bookshop. The will awaits. Remember Tutwell's clue, where there's a will, there's a way? Let us more closely examine that illustration from Alice's Adventures in Wonderland.
Hidden in this illustration are clues that correspond with the objects on the bookshore. Okay. But what is their significance? It's a good question. So there should be a Shakespeare, yeah. Scales. Now there's a will. Will Shakespeare, to be precise. Okay, so now there should be scales as well. Where there's a will, there's a way. Okay. A way. The scales. Oh, Holmes, that's a horrid pun. I agree. That is just a awful pun. Finally, what do we do? What do you do with a boiled egg? You crack it open. Definitely a bit longer this time. Okay, so a hammer. I don't really see the hammer. Where is the hammer? I do not see the hammer. Aha!
Miss Tutwell, smash that good egg, Mr. Shakespeare, with that hammer, if you please.
My father's will! But my father intended his fortune for anyone clever enough to find the will. Congratulations, Mr. Holmes. That obviously would be you.
On the contrary, Miss Tutwell, the will is yours. After all, you were the only person clever enough to invite me into this case. Congratulations!
So yeah, that brings us to almost the end of the first shelf. Next time we'll finish up the first shelf, and then after that move on to the bottom shelf. We've got all the hats so far, which is awesome. Again, that one was really awesome because it drew in from the different stories. The coded dancing men and stuff like that was a nice touch. The idea of a will that the will that pays out to whoever finds it type stuff was again kind of. I think that was in one of the original Sir Arthur Conan Doyle stories. I love the fact that they are kind of bringing that in. Random question for you guys. What is your favorite Sherlock Holmes story? What is the one that speaks out most to you? I would love to know. So if you have a favorite, leave a comment down in the description, or leave it in the comments down below. As always, thank you guys very much for watching, and don't forget to press the subscribe button down below so that you can stay tuned for more from Ollamh Productions.
If you wanna see some crazy
Cheerio!
and also lazy, then you should meet me and my friends.
It's you. I thought I'd never see you again. I can sense his power growing. He must have shattered the gems.
Okay, so we've got a problem of excessive heat buildup. So if we use a heat sink and 1 or 2 thermal ports, that would solve the problem.